Hello, and welcome into another episode of Untold Stories. We are back with open Daggerheart surgery for this episode, with this wonderful crew of the Flying Bat ship. We're just going to jump straight into it. We've got no real announcements this episode, so let's continue telling our story. Previously on Open Daggerheart Surgery, you and the Flying Bat crew had landed in Amberia, a small port town where you were here to have some minor repairs and restock on food and other materials, as well as look for kind of jobs to undertake. You successfully failed at fishing in the harbour. I'm not sure how else to categorise it, to be honest, and proceeded to also piss off the notice birds at the notice board through trying to force feed one of them a loaf of bread for no real discernible reason. You went to the tavern, where you did get a job, where you would be transporting some berry wine. Before you could really do much else, there was an attack on the town's solar crystals from a band of mercenaries. You, as the heroes you are, jumped at the chance to prove your worth, fought them off, and saved the majority of the crystals, to be fair, and then at the request of the town proceeded to track down the mercenaries through the woodland to try and get the stolen ones that they did get back. You also repaired one of the damaged solar capture machines with fish scales. Just remembered that. Through the woods, you successfully managed to find their camp at a sequestered cove short way up the coast, where they had 3 large sailing vessels moored out in the harbour, and a small encampment on the beach. Some of you, at that point, then decided to try and sneak into the camp, and it was going relatively well. The large boulder of Chalice pulling a solid snake with a cardboard box. Herbie was also getting relatively close.
Hiding behind the moving rock.
Correct. And Chardonnay actually managed to get into the camp with her ability to jump through shadows. Unfortunately, after a brief sneak around, things went a little awry and she fell out of the tent and got spotted by a large crystalline snake man who proceeded to pick up this small demon goblin by the scruff of her neck and take her into the centre of the camp and present her to, you assume, the leader of the camp, a woman dressed in tough leathers and bits of armour, with solar crystals set in a sword hilt and a glove. And that is where we will pick up, as this woman stares at this demon goblin. Well, what have we here?
Here we go!
I see we've got some strangers in our midst, lads. What could this possibly mean? You were at the solar farm, weren't you?
No. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that feels like a roll. Let's get on. Let's start off wrong.
I don't know what you're about. You can catch me dead in the farm.
If I remember them right.
I've never heard of it. What's that?
Presence is charm, form, or deceive.
Yes.
Have you got any experiences that might help you?
Yeah, I've got fake it till you make it.
Yeah, fair. I can't disagree with that.
Absolutely do this, don't you? That's how it...
That's incredible.
Although my presence is +2. Do I also add
Yes.
spirit? Okay.
Buffs on buffs.
You have to spend a hope to do that, don't you?
Yes, you do have to spend a hope to do... I think you got a hope, didn't you? Because you were on your last hope, and then you rolled with hope anyway.
Also, I just rolled, but I did not pick which dice was going to be...
Roll again and pick.
The numbers, so after our numbers... Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, I picked the wrong way around. Okay, so this is with fear, and it is 12.
12 with fear. I'll tell you what, I'm going to immediately use that fear anyway. She looks at you and just goes, "Now, dearie, we do know that's a lie, don't we? So where are your fellows?" And then she turns to the rest of the boats. "Speed up, packing up. Get the crates on the boats now." And you see a bunch of them head into the tent that you were in. and start picking up the crates and heading straight to the kind of rowboats on the shore to start taking them out.
Do you
At this
think?
point, is there a big rock behind her?
You can roll me finesse to see how close you're getting.
Also, do you think I would be able to reach my pack at all? I have a nomadic pack.
Depends
I don't
what you're trying to
necessarily.
do.
I don't necessarily need to access the main pocket, but I would like to spend a hope to pull out something useful, which is a thing I
Useful
have.
thing.
You can certainly try.
What's the useful thing?
Okay.
A grenade.
I can't remember if I come up with that.
You come up with it, and I kind of agree to whether
Okay.
it's suitable for being in a random ass pack. Unlike a
Grenade.
rocket launcher that I think you tried last time.
Okay, something grenade, smoke bomb, pepper spray, tear gas, anything along those lines.
I might give you some kind of like powder that's an irritant.
Sneezing powder.
You chuck
I'll
a
take-
smoke bomb on the ground, it disperses, you're still held by the crystals.
I will take sneezing powder.
Or
You'll take
my
sneezing
sneaking
powder.
efforts. Just so I'm getting this correct. Any roll of a double number is a crit.
Correct.
So that would be a 25 with crit.
How do you still roll crits in this system?
Sorry,
He's
Gaff, you're
huge.
buggers.
And actually,
the
I think-
likelihood of me rolling a crit has infinitely increased.
Yeah, that's the thing I was going to say. You're more likely to roll crits now. Okay. Let's resolve things. With that,
Take your time.
you can be as close as you realistically want to be. They are distracted moving everything. Want to be clear with how the narrative works? By spending that fear, a large number of crates are already pushed off boats and in the water. Okay? That's the nature of how fear works. However, with that crit success, handing it over to you where you want to be at this point.
On a boat already.
I've kind of already said I'd like to have appeared behind her and been like, that rock always been there. Yes.
That sounds like someone's triggering combat. So I think we'll jump into the action tracker. I think you're immediately going to go first, and we'll give you advantages and stuff and whatever you want to do because you've snuck in so
Wicked.
perfectly well.
How
Let's
does
try
one
this.
So
on
to set the scene, two of you, are currently still on the cliff top, like
I
a
just pulled out a pair of opera glasses.
few
like,
100 meters away at this point. You have seen your three fellows, the two small ones and the giant one, get steadily closer to the camp, and then you've seen Janice appear in the middle of the camp. You've seen a number of them disappear on small boats out to the major ships, and then something happens in the center of the camp as a large boulder just shakes off sand and rises up behind this woman and prepares to strike.
I'd like to just lower my opera glasses and go, they fucked it.
Anyone got a light?
I'm exactly where I plan to be, so
You can't hear shit. I am so far away from you.
figure out how my character sheet works.
Take your time, people.
How does the action tracker work? Is it just all getting to
It's
choose to do a thing?
yeah, basically. But we are going to start with Hugh just because of that rather impressive roll. We've got the Serpent Dude. We have Captain. In terms of what's around you, Chalice, as you stand up and shake off the sand and take in the full sight, because you kind of like been slightly buried in the sand slightly, so you now like quickly take it in, and you realise you are quite surrounded, and you're not sure if this is
I
everyone.
like to be.
There is a quick take in 9 like general grunts. There is 4 of the guys you dealt with previously who
I wrote it down in my
like to throw javelins at you, just like further distance. Kind of, they tend to be more of a patroller type, so they've kind of come in from the edge of the camp. And then you have the woman with her blade and glove, and you have the giant snake dude currently holding up your small friend.
Yeah. I suppose I need the kind of the wording for whirlwind, because that's kind of what I want to do.
When you make a successful attack using a weapon with a melee or very close range, you may also spend a hope to use that roll against every other enemy in that weapon's range.
Yeah.
Any additional enemies you
That's
succeed
all,
against
yeah.
with this ability take half damage rounded up.
Yeah, and then I can spend hope to do something.
To add experiences to boost up your...
No, on
Sounds
specifically for Whirlwind.
You have to spend hope to then basically hit everybody in that area.
Okay,
It doesn't
so
continue on.
I thought there was a thing about taking extra damage.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna sink my axe into her neck, and then, yeah, whirlwind around. That is a 22 with hope.
I'll hit.
And I will spend one of my hope, and then my die is a D8. Can I first become unstoppable?
I think so. I don't think there's any kind of action to unstoppable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just choose to become it.
As I do, stand up and just, and then just which is D8 damage
Go
plus.
for it.
Well, oh, that's 9 damage.
Nice.
10 because I get to add current value of my unstoppable die, which is 1, and so 10 to her, 5 to all enemies in close range to me.
Of which, upon seeing you stand up, 2 of the standard guys rush in to straight attack you, and before they even get a chance to properly get their swords out of their sheath, you deck them down, and then you follow in with this big swing on the woman who's purely focused on Chardonnay at this point, and it's cracks into her back. What weapon do you have again?
A big sort of. It's kind of like a big bearded axe, but I've just wielded it in one hand.
Yeah,
because
that's it. And you
dying.
you feel it bite into the armor, and is a pretty major wound that sinks into the skin. And
Yep.
I'm immediately going to spend 2 fear to act and add 2 things onto the action tracker, because while you got an ambush, you're also in the middle of a camp. So at that point, she is going to instinctively spin around and slash you with her magical sword as you see it suddenly glow with radiant light.
a thing I'm not resistant to at the moment.
Yeah, sorry. That is a 14 against your evasion.
What do you think?
11 physical slash magic damage. It counts as both.
I'll reduce that by an armor. Why not?
You can use an armor to reduce that. That is her go on the action tracker. Then
Reduces it to 1.
immediately following that, I'm gonna have 2 of the javelin guys immediately respond to this sudden threat in camp. At the minute, Chardonnay's not viewed as a threat because they're kind of restrained. You are this giant, sudden danger. So they are going to, from their approach in, hurl a javelin, and then jump back out again, keeping their distance and using the guys with swords as kind of cannon fodder for them to just keep peppering you. That is 10 against your agility, evasion, sorry.
Yeah,
And a
absolutely.
3.
That doesn't hit for once.
And that is 6 physical damage.
I'm resistant to physical damage, so presumably that reduces it by half or something, or
Instinct would tell me half, but then again, that's instinct in.
Resistance
No,
is...
D5E.
When a creature has resistance, they divide the damage in half before applying it to your thresholds.
There you go.
which means that it doesn't even do a minor wound to me.
Yeah, so that's those 2. That's the action tracker cleared. We're back to you guys.
I would
Am I
like
still
to...
in the air?
Yes, you're still grappled, but you do have this handful of paprika. I don't know.
Pocket sand.
Bucket sand. Yeah. So what are you attempting to do with it?
Throw it in the eyes, face area of whoever's holding them.
Okay, let's call that.
Is that the crystal snake?
Yes, it's a crystal snake. It's a crystal snake man. Still has eyes.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if it's just purely crystal, then
No. We'll call that a finesse roll. Feels like a control.
Okay. Well, that's a 14 with fear.
That just meets the DC.
Yay!
So, you throw this sand in the guy's face. With it being a success with fear, I'm gonna say success. Your attempt is to make him drop you, I assume, rather than just blind him. Cool. So instinctively, just that happens, and his hands just come up to start rubbing his face, and immediately drops you. Unfortunately for you, with it being a fear, I will spend it to act twice. As he just instinctively just starts lashing out where you are with this. You see him just draw from his back this broad great sword that like veers out into 2 points at the end before finishing on a flat top, and just starts swinging blindly to wherever you were, and is going to make an attack at you at disadvantage because he is blind. The lowest of which is an 11.
My vision is 12.
12, so he misses. He's just blindly swinging in your small diminutive form. You just start dodging in and out the way. We've got one more action. The captain is going to use an action and spend a fear. Use that fear, use that action. And she will just, as she backs away from you, Chalice, she just goes, "Jump him, lads!" And 5 of the general mercenaries will just like spring in towards you.
I would like to very quickly try and close the distance from the hill that I'm on by sort of just crouching down and then launching myself in flight down towards the camp.
Sure. Let's call that.
Well, they fucked it.
Feels like agility, with leap listed under agility.
Yep. Well, I'm not as good at that one. I have a -1, so can I? No, I can't really use any of my experiences, I don't think. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Luck!
Have fun.
Hope!
17 with hope.
That well, I'd set it relatively high.
16.
Give me a straight hope roll. I was torn between 16 and 17 DC, and I hadn't settled on it.
7.
Sorry, give me a straight roll.
Just my hope dice.
Hope and fear, and which one's higher is what I meant.
9 on the hope, 7 on the fear.
Okay. So yes, you successfully just sprint off the cliff. The wings come out, and you just start gliding directly towards. You close the gap at impressive speed. You are now considered at far distance rather than very far. We're just like on the edge of being close, essentially.
All you need.
You're on the edge of the encampment, and you're like now. The guys who patrol the thing with javelins are now like aware of this shadow looming over them, and then it's turning to face you, just ready to throw javelins at you.
And I take.
That was that was with fear, wasn't it?
That was hope.
It was with hope.
So I would like to take an action to use my dual staff, just like fling a spell at one of the javeliners.
Go for it.
Ooh,
that's
need
good.
all this.
I think with Chardonnay being picked up, his intention was to make a larger distraction and has been like wandering around the tents trying to set them on fire.
We'll come to you in a second, because that sounds fun.
It's a crit when they're both the same number, isn't
Correct.
Yes.
it? Okay, so that's 16 as a crit.
Yeah, that'll hit them. He says, not having their stat block up. Yeah, definitely.
1d6 plus 3. And then, what does a crit get me? Is it just double the damage, or make something real good happen?
Critical successes in damage. Roll the damage as usual, then add extra damage equal to the maximum potential of value. So basically, raise the floor to max normal and then roll on top.
And what I'd also like to do is to mark a stress to use my primal origin.
Okay.
To let me hit an additional target within range with the spell that I'm using. So I'm going to hit both those javeliners.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
And take a stress. So it's 5 plus the 6 I would have rolled normally. So 11 plus 3 is 14 numbers.
11, 14, yeah?
14 magic.
14 magic. I don't think that's going to do well for them, I'll tell you now.
that sort of unleash it. It starts as just sort of like a bolt, then that slowly splits into just more and more like horrible needles, until it's just thousands of needles. Just
Yeah, that buries into them completely, and these guys, before they even get a chance to throw javelins, are just like, just arrowed into the floor, like that scene from 300. Just like pinned there, dead, unable to do anything.
Can I stab that guy with my rapier?
Yeah, just spin around, jab upwards, go for it.
stab them in the ribs. Lost your rib privileges.
Finally, I have rolled with hope. I use presence. All right, so that's an unnatural 20. Although 20 is not
Correct.
okay, so 20. With hope.
Yeah, success. You jam up. Roll damage for me.
8.
8 points of damage. Is a major wound. That just jams up, and you see it like take the thing in, and then just start looming over you. Like the cobra hood comes out and just blots out the sun for a second as it starts to try and intimidate you. But it's still you guys. You haven't failed in a while. Tirich.
Do it.
I mean, I've got the elemental origin, which says you can channel this element, being lightning, into unique harmless effects. I don't know whether that would... how that classes as lighting things on fire.
You can roll me for it, but I'll keep it a low DC.
Sure.
Just like a little
What's your
sparky,
spell
like-
casting? Is it presence?
No, it's instinct.
Okay, make me an instinct roll then. We'll call it DC 10.
Imagine Herbie's just like got like a bit of cloth and is just like
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
those
tends
little
to
pads and lighters.
cloth, right?
He's got a little bit of carpet that he puts under him and goes.
I got this, guys.
That's 14 with hope.
14 with hope. These guys aren't getting the act at the minute due to your rolls. Is good. Yeah.
So hopeful.
So you get to one of the tents and just, and then it just starts. Fire starts spreading up the side, starting to take over the whole tent. You can keep acting, guys.
Yes, I was actually going to say, did I think I said last time that I wanted to be able to start shooting fire arrows.
Sure, I'll take your word on that. I don't remember.
Because we talked about how that I wouldn't be able to put the ships out of action.
Oh yeah, they're far out of range and they're a ship.
Yeah, but what I want to do is just literally rapid fire as many arrows as possible at the little boats that are
Rowboat.
The rowboats that are heading out to sea.
the rowboats. Yeah.
What's the range on your bow?
So the range is very far.
Okay. I'm going to say you have disadvantage on this.
That's fair.
Just because you extreme distance, bobbing waters kind of thing. But you can definitely try this.
Cool.
And you can just keep going until you fail.
Okay.
Like
so
Legolasing
what
it from the
does
cliff top.
disadvantage do?
Disadvantage is roll a d6 and subtract that from your total. Don't subtract it from any particular die, just the total.
Right. Okay. Let's find a d6. That'll do. I don't like those dice because I haven't picked them.
Could have come up with an AC in the boat.
So that is a 11 with hope.
Okay, that is a failure. Oh, I haven't actually been... Jesus Christ. You went twice. Herbie went. Emily went. Yeah. I hadn't been added into the action tracker because I was waiting for you guys to fail. I was like, my board's empty. Only 5 of you have gone. Yeah, due to the range and the small targets on the water, that doesn't hit, I'm afraid. You see the arrow splash into the side, and you see them seem to react up in your head, and they notice that there's now an issue, and you see them start to row faster. Doesn't make much of a difference. They were rowing pretty fast already, but you can see them like now aware that maybe we're not as safe as we thought, kind of thing.
Quickly shout at the top of my lungs. It's like, we're trying to keep the things intact, right?
I don't think an arrow is going to break a crystal to crate, to be fair.
What, a fire arrow on a wooden boat?
What crystals do you know don't melt?
Fine, they'll sink.
There's solar crystals as well. They're literally just made of fire.
catches fire, and crystals do crack in heat, actually, yes.
Yeah, but these are
but
solar
it's also
crystals. They've taken the energy of
and
the
it's-
sun into them.
Who is just... And anyway, they'd end up on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, and then I'll just go swim and pick them
They'll
up.
be intact.
You went swimming last time, you're fine. Anyway, due to that failure, now my turn to act.
Ah, damn it.
Right. First of all, I'm going to use 2 actions to trigger the encounter power. And you see, coming out from one of the tents is another javelin thrower. Having seen their guy get pinned down, comes out and starts to take aim at you, Zarane, with a javelin to throw up. That is an 11 against your evasion.
That hits me.
10 points of physical
Evasion is
damage.
7. I am going to use my rune ward first, which lets me spend a hope to reduce the damage I've taken by a d8. Takes that down 3, which
You're
brings
down
that from 10 to 7.
Yep.
Pretty good.
I am then going to spend one of my armor, which brings it down to 8 overall. My armor is 8.
Wow.
What's your
I went-
minor?
I'm wearing
Oh.
plate armor. My minor's 1,
Ah,
so I take it to -1 and take no harm. But I just like hold up my horrible hand,
Cool.
and the javelin just stops.
We're going to use 2 more
because my
actions.
peasants don't fight the nobility.
2 more actions with the 5 cell swords currently surrounding Chalice, who are all going to make a group attack on you. What's your evasion?
Flash.
6.
That is a 9. So you take 20 physical damage.
Reduced to 10. Because I'm resistant at the
Yeah.
moment. And then, you know, I'll spend a stress. Why not? To reduce it to 1.
And the final thing.
It's just like crawling all over me, trying to like stick daggers into the lily.
Not to be an opening. His limbs move. There must be an opening.
They're just like clambering all on top of you, swords down.
It's like trying to open a walnut. Like, where the fuck's it going?
The Weapon Master is going to use the last action on the tracker to make a goading strike against Chardonnay, just bringing the greatsword down. They smile at you with complete venom in their eyes and "Come get me, little one," and just swings the greatsword down to try and take you out.
That's mean.
That is a 12.
My evasion is 12.
That hits you this time.
Ow.
14 physical damage.
Ooh.
I can't remember how the armor thing works.
So you can spend an armor slot, I think you each have 3 at this level, to reduce the incoming damage
Depends on the,
by the amount of your armor number. So I don't know what your armor number
depends
is.
on the armor.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Sorry, how much was the damage?
14. 14. It was a 7, a 5, and then plus 2 physical damage. So
Ah, okay. I've got 14 as severe damage. So I will be spending an armor slot.
so that brings
Can
it
I
down
spend-
to major. You can spend as many armor slots as you want.
Probably wouldn't help much, right?
I think armor slot also depends on the armor you're wearing.
It does, yeah.
Okay, there we go. I've marked 2 HP
So you
and
do
an
2,
armor slot.
2 HP and an armor slot. And he expends a stress as you are now taunted by him. If you attack anyone other than him, you're at disadvantage.
Is he still within melee range of me?
Not of you. The only people in melee range with you right now are the 5 guys clambering over and stabbing you.
5 guys.
Everyone else has taken a step back from the giant turtle that appeared in their midst.
So
Can I-
melee, very close.
But
and
we are
close.
back to you guys.
Can I make a whirlwind attack against these 5 guys?
You can indeed make an attack against one of them
Amazing.
and then hit the rest.
So that will be it plus my strength. Come on, right. I know it's been a long day. 13.
Hits
With
with hope. Gotcha.
yeah. So I will not mark that because there's a 13 hit these guys.
Yes, it does.
And they're all the same, so it hits them all. That is 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. And
How'd you get them
damage
off?
to one, 4 to the others.
How'd you get it off? How'd you get them off?
Quite like to think that I sort of slam the axe into one of them and then sort of carry him around, just like.
That's incredible. And just like the initial like inertia shakes them off you and then just leaves them, but like in mid-air as you then just take them out on the like secondary swing round.
Can I make an offhand attack with my shield?
You can attempt to make another action attack, yeah.
Yeah, because it says it has a D4 of damage, so.
Who are you trying to hit? No one else is in melee range with you right now.
Cool. In which case, I'm free to go up to the to yonder fella with the crystals and the shit.
Yes, you can do that. You can freely move to a location within your close range.
Cool. That might hit.
Yeah, you can move anywhere within close without difficulty.
12. That's a 14 to hit.
That does hit.
Cool. That's with hope. Which means I will do a forceful push.
Sure.
So, on a successful attack, makes me make the push down there and spend a hope to make them. So I will spend a hope to make him temporarily vulnerable.
Okay. Temporarily vulnerable.
Oh, her. I thought this was the crystal dude.
Oh, you're going for the crystal dude. Sorry, my mistake.
Oh yeah. Whenever you deal one or more hit points to an adversary, increase its stoppable. Okay, so it goes up to 3. So it's just a D4 of damage plus
Go for it.
3. It's not plus my strength, is it? But I deal an extra D6 of damage because of forceful push,
Oh, nice.
which will make that 12.
Wow, jeez.
More damage than I dealt with the axe.
He is looking pretty rough.
And is vulnerable and has now been pushed out of melee range.
Did you roll with hope or fear on that attack?
I did. I rolled with hope.
Cool, that's fine. I was just checking.
If I roll with hope, I get to add a d6 to the damage die.
So, I have something I'd like to do that is going to be absolutely.
Go for it.
Are there any trees at the top of this?
There were trees a very short way back from you, yeah. Because you came to the edge of the
Cool.
forest and then went up to the top of the cliff.
Cool. Can I shoot an arrow with a rope attached into a tree?
Yes.
Cool. I'm then going to ice breath it.
Okay. Don't give me this piecemeal. Tell me what you want to do.
I am going to jump off the cliff with a rope, do a
Triple pike backflip.
do a Hawkeye from the Avengers down the cliff while shooting it, and then at the bottom and start running towards it, shooting arrows.
Okay. This is going to be quite a hard DC.
Why do you think I'm trying to make it so that the rope out of the tree?
Okay. I will leave this up to you. You can either make this a single, relatively high DC roll to accomplish all of that, or we can break it down into 2 parts and see where we go.
I think break it down into 2 parts.
You want to break 2 parts? Cool. How does your breath work?
So I choose an element, which is ice.
Yep.
It's an instinct weapon,
Instinct. Cool.
very close range.
Make me an instinct roll then. We'll call it... Well, I'm not going to set a DC necessarily on this. If you roll badly, it'll be a failure. But it'll be a sliding scale.
So 12 with hope.
12 with hope. Can you guys roll fear at all?
No.
It's not the point of the game, is it?
It's half the game. Mathematically, half the time you're rolling should be with fear. I want to be very clear. You haven't rolled fear in 7 actions between the lot of you.
But each
You know,
time it's a
last
50-50.
time.
That's how probability
This is
works.
incredible.
I was lucky last time, but most of the time I think I roll with fear, so I'm doing the heavy lifting on
Yeah, thank God you're here, Ellie. Yes, that breath, it sets in to the ice, and you feel it's a taut containment. You wrap the rope around you, and you jump off backwards off the cliff. That's gonna be an agility roll. Literally, an
Cool.
agility called leap.
Yeah. Funny that.
We'll set this because you are jumping off a cliff. It's going to be DC 16.
Surely the height of jumping off of something doesn't change the difficulty of the jump.
What this is that it's because like there could be damage depending on how it all works, kind of thing.
So that is a 16 on the nose with fear. However, I do now get a nose guide. That'll be useful later. When I roll with fear, put a token on this card. I can hold as many tokens as my level. Before I make an action roll, I can then spend one of these tokens to add an additional +1 mod.
Nice. Cool ability. Okay, I've got some stuff I can do now. So you successfully make it down to the bottom, but anytime you roll fear or failure, I can interrupt, essentially.
Yeah. Just put it I would have kicked out to try and get a nice arc to try and get as far forward as possible.
Yeah, you still got a bit of a run. There'll be an action to reach to the camp, but you can reach to the camp in an action at this point because distances don't make sense in my head yet. I'm still vague and ephemeraling it. And that doesn't work as a verb. Right, we have 4 actions on the tracker and a fear. So we're going to first start with, at this point, the 3 of you... Yeah, no one knows where fucking Herbie is. Something on fire.
Something's on fire. No one's paying attention.
We're going to spend...
It's like
I tell you what.
Tie a balloon to a turtle, while you're cleaning its enclosure. It's like, oh, there's the fire. There he is.
We're going to first of all spend an action as the captain with the magic. You suddenly see a ball of solar light appear in her hand, and where a lot of you are now gathered around where Chalice and Chardonnay is, she's just going to hurl a blast of suppressing energy at you. I would like Zaranay to roll me a straight duality die roll. I'm also going to roll a luck check for the Weapon Master to see whether this blast catches them. That is below a 10. The Weapon Master is caught in this. Hope. That's fine. You are not in the blast, but I do need Chardonnay and Chalice to roll me agility rolls. This is the first time we've ever done this. This is an agility reaction roll, which means you cannot add any experiences to this. It is just your flat agility.
Oh, that looks bad, I say. It explodes.
There's a small sun that appears.
Awful business.
7.
And I'm not over there.
And Hugh?
20 with fear.
Damn. I don't get tax on a reaction roll, but Chardonnay is going to take 13 magic damage. Chalice, you just dive into your shell as this burst of radiant light hits. Chardonnay has no such luck. Fully drawn in on the Weapon Master, she can't kind of draw her attention.
Well, no, I did push the Weapon Master, so
she's
vulnerable. By the way,
she's still goaded by it. So so her attention is on him. She's not necessarily in danger.
Also,
the Weapon Master
vulnerable does, but
the Weapon Master does succeed. The light almost reflects off them and onto Chardonnay. It's one of the reasons Chardonnay fails.
Oh god!
So 13 magic damage to Chardonnay, and also I get another action tracker back for that. At this point, the Weapon Master is going to spend an action and 2 stress. You see this crystal snake mount, white, the clear liquid that's been running out of them from the wounds they've got in, off their face, look at all of you, and just roll the shoulders as they relish in the challenge. They clear 2 hit points and 2 stress. And then we've still got
I gave you those.
2 more to the 2 javelin guys that had tried throwing at Chalice come around the corner and see the flying demon and just instinctively throw javelins at you.
Understandable.
That is 20 and a 14.
Yeah, that'll hit me. They'll both hit me.
8 physical and 5 physical.
I am going to spend 2 armor slots. Again, 1 against each to reduce that down to 0 each time.
And the last thing that's going to happen, the Spellblade is then the captain, the leader, is then going to follow up their blast. Seeing you, Chalice, coming back out of your shell, she leaps up and brings her sword down, trying to like pierce through your armored shell, through your clavicle.
Oh no, my shell hole.
With a 17 to
Shell
hit.
hole! Yeah. You know,
Oh,
maybe.
right in the shell hole.
14 magical damage. As
How about we
Well,
go and reduce that by 9?
nice. Yes, you're just coming back out. You see this burst of light. You coming back out, still like slightly dazed, and then suddenly, as this sword pierces through your shell, and you like shrug it off. And we are back to you guys.
Yeah, I was thinking with the distraction not particularly having the effect he was hoping for. Just one tent on fire.
Just ignored it. Oh yeah.
I will say, there's 4 mercenaries who are around and haven't acted, and they've seen the fire and like, what do we do? They're kind of frozen, unsure what to do right now because they're not being given orders.
Let's do that sometimes.
Not the loot!
Herbie will want to say is it the captain that's vulnerable? Okay. He will unleash chaos at them, channeling their lightning powers and firing it at them. That's the 19 with fear. I was using both the tokens for it. That's only 5 points of damage. Yeah, 5 points of damage. As rubs his feet as he's running round and throws the lightning bolt towards them.
You see the lightning bolt
Like the Muhammad Ali shuffle. Just like,
arc across the chamber, and it like strikes into him, and it just seems it almost doesn't like barely notices the effect. Like there's a but his eyes are locked on Chalice and Chardonnay specifically.
I'm non-conductive.
And I think on a success, I can mark a stress to basically regain that ability.
Nice. I am going to use that fear to just have the boats in the harbour have made it to the ships now. That cargo is on ships, but the other thing is you can see those boats being loaded up with a number of other soldiers and starting to make their way back.
If I see that, can I? How far away are they? Now that I'm
The
out
ships are considered very, almost like on the cusp of out. It's hard to tell.
on the cusp of out of very far range. They've not entered.
The ships themselves are beyond far range. The boats that are rowing back will be in far range. Let's say. That's
Far range or very far range?
very far. Thank you.
Then I would like to start taking slow, aimed shots at anyone who is rowing.
Okay.
I'm not going to hit the same boat twice in a row. I'm actually going to shoot one and then move to the next one.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because they'll have to spend time swapping over and everything else.
Yeah, go for it.
So, first one, I will also use my Tide die,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I'm going to call them, to give myself an additional +1. So, there we go.
I'm glad you're
So-
enjoying the music here.
That is a 13 with hope.
Yeah, I've been giving these guys a DC of 13, so that hits. That DC is also coming down as they get closer and become bigger targets.
So 1d6 plus the 5 points of damage. How many boats are there?
There are 3.
Cool. I'll shoot one at each, and then obviously let everybody else have a go.
Cool.
That makes sense.
Okay. That's 2 actions on the action tracker.
Also, what I will do is I will spend a stress
Mm-hmm.
to. I get a battle strategist. Now it says I have to outmaneuver your targets. What I'd like to say is I managed to get it so that the arrow actually goes through their hand and like staples them to the oar. So they also don't get a stress.
Okay, I'm not giving you stapled to the oar on a stress. That's a pretty major impediment to the rowing. But I will say it slows that guy's got a stress that is going to impact those boats. That changeover process. The guy panics almost, and they've got to save the oor rather than losing it entirely.
That's fine. It was more to try and
sure, dude.
into what I was trying to do, I suppose.
Yeah.
I call that. Right, second boat.
Well, if you like rowing.
So unfortunately, Gethin's going to go, but that is an 18. That is a dirty 20 with the.
Roll me the damage. Let's finish that attack. You move to a second boat that's coming back.
Well, that makes up for it. 10 points of damage.
You see that guy just immediately wiped out, taken off the boat. That guy is out.
Entire arm.
Oh, sorry. Go back to the guy who I hit the first time. It is actually 9 points of damage because I get to re-roll my 1s and 2s.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Then that one, in the kerfuffle and that stress point, he actually goes overboard, and they're too focused on getting back to bother saving him.
Don't leave me!
My hand! There's an arrow in it.
That is fear. You shot twice. Spend that fear and an action token as the captain once again yells at everyone to gang up on the turtle, bring him down! As the weapon master and all 4 remaining mercenaries approach to gang up on you. That spends a fear and an action. We're going to then have...
This is actively what I like.
This is my king.
We're then going to have the mercenaries all make an attack on you. What's your evasion?
Turtle lipstick pop out.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, okay. So they all hit you, so that's 16 physical damage, up to 8 straight away before you do anything else.
I could just let it be a minor hit then.
What ends your indomitable thing?
Sorry?
What ends your rage?
So it starts on 1, and then every time I deal damage to someone, it goes up. So it's currently on 3, and then when it goes past 4 to 5, it ends.
Right. Okay. That's a really cool way of doing it.
Is why I'm like, do I just keep sitting here like a sponge?
That was it. And then the weapon master.
That's why we brought you. So
the weapon master is
a little hit.
Going to make a goading strike on you as well. Marks of stress. That'll hit. That's a 14.
Cool. I was going to hit you anyway.
Not great damage. 8 physical damage, half to 4 straight away, and you are taunted by him.
If does it have to exceed my? Is it meet or exceed? Oh, for fuck's! It's exactly 4.
At this point, could I just sort of float vaguely over the top of this happening?
Yeah.
Just gonna land on top of Chalice's shell.
Okay.
And just with myself, hello.
Do you want to make this a group attack?
Yeah. I will definitely be doing a whirlwind as well.
I'm just basically gonna put my horrible needle magic all the way along Chalice's axe just to make it a
I like to think that we sort of do a tiny bit of we do. I'm going to say a little bit of a Sailor Moon transformation, but also a little bit... No, this is a Power Rangers Zord moment, I think.
To be honest, I pictured Iron Man... I also pictured Iron Man 2, but instead of, Thingy ducking down while he did the whole thing, you go in opposite directions, so it's a bit...
So it's as the tornado slash is going one way, I'm bringing a wave of needles the other. Just
how are we doing this then? How does it work?
So, tag team roll. This is what we're doing, not group. Each player can choose 1 time per session to spend 3 hope.
Yep, I have 3 that I can use.
So your initiative is to initiate a tag team roll with another PC. When you do, work with your chosen partner to describe how you 2 characters combine your actions to create a whirlwind of magic and steel.
Yep.
Both you and your partner make separate action rolls, but before resolving the outcome, you choose one of the rolls to apply. So you can decide whether you want the higher roll, the hope, depending on what you want. So you 2 both roll.
Higher roll, I guess.
Crit 22.
We'll do that one.
We'll go for that, shall we?
Yeah, I got a 13 with hope, so...
That's the second time I've done a double 11 this session.
You both roll damage as usual, and then add it together to determine the damage dealt. And I'm assuming this is against the crystal snake?
I mean, yeah, my main attack is against that, and then everything else is against everyone else.
Actually, in that case, can I have done Rain of Blades?
Okay.
Because that makes
more sense.
Actually, no, I won't do that because I won't have the hope to spend on it. I will take another stress for my Primal Origin to hit an additional target within range with my spell, so I can get the captain and the...
Go for it.
And
so yeah, you're just on top and unleash this magical summoning of blades, and then amongst it all is a giant great axe that just... or bearded axe, just hook through. Roll me your damages.
How does critting work again? Is it
so to use a D&D
plus?
Yeah. So if you roll a D8, it becomes 8 plus a D8.
Because my weapon is D8 plus 1. Like that's the
so it'd be 9 plus D8.
9 plus D8. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
It's not 9 plus D8 plus 1.
No.
There's going to be an additional 7 magical damage on top of this.
Okay, so it's 7 magic.
9, 15. 16, 17, 18. Yeah.
So pretty much max damage.
2 off, you know.
So 25 damage total.
If I was on my last unstoppable, 3 off, but I'm now on my last unstoppable.
25 damage total is severe damage to the Weapon Master.
Fucking better be.
How do you want to do this?
So as I land, I sort of like ride Chalice. Like one hand on like the front of their shell, the other hand on like one hand on the like the top of the shell, the other 2 like over the back of their head. Like, right, have fun.
And like you hit him high on the head, I hit him low on the body, and it's like in like opposite directions. It goes.
And then, as the storm of the rain of blades comes in, the crystal pieces of this snake just shatter into this rain of blades, get caught up, and whip round to the other side, where they embed in the captain, who like manages to roll and shrug out of the way of it, only taking 1 hit point of damage, and just like steely gaze, just like surveys the new threat. But that is literally 1 action.
Chardonnay, get it!
Chardonnay's been a while. Chardonnay, the guy who had just taunted you and held you up just exploded.
Well, that changes what my plan was going to be. Does that mean that the other one is still there?
The captain is still there, as well as currently 4 mercenaries also climbing on this weird Zord. It's an
aren't they
scene.
dead? Because I did a whirlwind attack.
Oh, you did do a whirlwind attack, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm assuming the fragmentation literally.
Yeah, they're gone too.
They just sandblasted your shell with crystals.
So is there one
Maybe
left?
next time they'll be made of crystal.
Currently, there are still 2 javelin throwers who are chasing after Zarane, and then the captain, who is like now distinctly aware that she's almost got to delay time until the reinforcements come.
Yeah, so you said that some of them are within far range.
The boats coming back are in very far range at the minute.
Are there any just in far?
The javelin throwers are within far range.
How far can I move per, like...
So you can move anywhere up to close without having to roll for it.
Is there a shadow close to me? And is there a shadow close to the javelin throwers?
We're casting a pretty big shadow.
I'm really loving this mechanic. Just roll me hope and fear die and tell me which one's higher.
We're like a 10-foot turtle man with an 8-foot insect on top.
Yeah, it's less about there being a shadow next to Chardonnay. It's about there being a shadow next to the javelin throwers.
I mean, I'm just saying, we cast a pretty long shadow in this evening light.
Am I adding any?
No, just give me straight roll. This is essentially a luck check.
Hope wins.
Hope wins. They're just passing a tent as they're running in after Zaranay, and you can see that you could appear right behind them and catch them completely unawares.
Do I gain a hope from that?
No, that's just a luck check.
Yeah, well, I would like to do that. And I believe... Let me just scroll.
Is it an action to do that?
Do I become hidden? Is my question.
What's the ability?
So it doesn't say that you're automatically hidden, however, you do disappear.
Okay, so if you want to be hidden upon coming out, it will take your action to pull that off, but it'll be a relatively low... Well, it will be DC 12.
Because I have a class feature, which means I can mark a stress to become hidden.
Well, that would do it. If you mark a stress, do it without a one.
I will do that.
Yeah.
No.
Sick. Love it.
That is 2 stress.
It's fine, you got like 6 of it.
True. I feel like this is I'm hoping this is a worthy cause.
Yeah, they're completely unaware, so you will have advantage on your attack.
Yeah.
Snap them up real good.
They're focused on the giant nightmare bug that's currently on top of the giant turtle.
I would also like to mark another stress to use quick, which I can do with my rapier, which means I can attack an additional target within range. So I should be able to attack both of them.
Ooh.
Oh, we're safe with our javelin.
Absolutely go
just
for
stay
it.
back, we'll not be in danger. Oh, my knees!
Absolutely go for it, Ellie.
Okay. I don't know if I add any extras to all of this from using anything.
So what's the ability associated with a rapier?
That's present, so I know that I add +2.
So you add your presence.
But you have advantage because you're hidden, so
You add a
D6.
+D6 as well, yeah.
Would I get to add anything like my grave robbing?
I don't
To
think
the-
grave robbing would fit.
This is grave making.
Yeah.
grave
You're
filling.
pretty robbing yet, they haven't got in the
I
grave.
can tell you're aiming for a DC 12. So with
I
a
think
minimum
you
of
can-
+2, like
I
you've got
also
a chance.
don't think you can have double advantage on it.
No, you can't.
It wouldn't
But
be.
it would
It would
be-
be just a plus, but yeah, anyway.
An experience.
Okay, so it's a 15.
Success.
Does the advantage change it
Nope.
whether it's hope or fear?
It just applies to the
Okay.
total.
Alright, well it's fear. Again.
Thank you.
But I do it.
Yes, you do it. You do hit both of them.
And does the extra on the damage roll include the extra d6 I get from sneak attack? Does that apply to both of them?
I think in this instance it will. With the
Yay.
quick, it's all part of one attack, yeah.
Awesome.
You can also spend any number of hope to add more d6 for each hope you do.
Yeah, you have to do that before the attack roll though, which I didn't do. Anyway.
If you want to do it in retrospect, that's fine. If you want to be badass.
Okay, yeah, I do really want to be badass.
Be badass.
Oh, badass.
Look, we can't say we're breaking the rules of the game when the game's not officially out yet, so...
Yeah.
So
The
that
rules are what we make them.
Jealous pulls out a gun.
There are guns in this setting. This is Industrialist versus Solarpunk. There's definitely guns somewhere.
So that's 11 damage for one of them.
I'd like to turn my gun sideways for extra damage.
Oh, and 11 damage for the other. 11 and 11.
You tell me how this happens.
Yeah. I'm quite small, and do you guys remember Reaper Cheap? Did you guys ever read?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
So for
not
those,
yet.
I'm scared now.
so for those who don't know, in the Chronicles of Narnia, there is is it a mouse or a rat? But
Mouse, I think.
he wields a rapier, and he's deadly. Everyone else
He
is
was voiced by
normal
Eddie
height.
Izzard in the film.
He's just a normal height mouse.
Just a normal average dude. I'm a normal adult man.
Normal adult mouse.
And he's very good at being stabby. Anyway, I would like to have a mixture of those 5, and also, like, I feel like the upward momentum of stabbing with a rapier would get a lot of people in the groin.
She's going
So
for
I
the
would
femoral
like-
artery, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's alright, Barry, we're gonna survive this! Barry!
A second ago, you were being stared down by a giant crystal cobra wielding a greatsword. That then detonated. In the chaos, you just went... reappeared by a shadow as these two guys went running past you, and you're like... You come up behind them and just... One of them you just strike up the full length of the back of the leg. You go perfect, like, surgical cut through tendon, calf muscle, ligaments, the back of the knee, and up the hamstring. They just collapse, full skid, their head just grinding across the floor. That person doesn't get up. The guy then, like, sees that, turns around, looking at, like, normal height to see what attacks, and then just feels a sharp pain in their groin, and they're like... And they just look down to see you there, like...
Stone. Oh no, it's worse.
He's like, you see their brain just try to process what happened before it loses all its blood, and they just collapse. Incredible. It is now my the adversary's turn. I'm going to use that fear to have the boats arrive at shore. I'm then going to activate the only remaining combatant in the captain. I'm going to... Usually you don't try to activate someone twice, but in this instance, being the last day, I'm going to activate her twice. With you now, all of you bar Thalio, relatively packed together. She is going to, first of all, back up, which will be her first action, is essentially running to the boats, which she does have to succeed.
I was going to say, is she moving out of combat
That's why
range
she's
with
got to.
us?
That's why she's got to try and succeed on a check. What is everyone's evasions? Essentially, is what we'll go with here.
12.
7.
9.
So this is going to be a
They're really
relatively
easy to get away
roll, just because you guys are not that reactive. It's a 19 on the die. She uses the absolute chaos of the absolute mega storm of damage that you did to slip the distance from you. So by the time you've turned around and ready to swing, she's comfortably out of your range. And as she starts running, you see that burst of light come out of her hand again, and just launch a last thing. It's just like, well, you're not going to get everything. And launch this at you. So I need all 4 of you who are in the camp to roll me a agility roll, please. You can't add any modifiers outside of agility.
15 with hope.
That's a success.
7 with fear.
Failure.
And 6.
17 with fear.
Turns out standing on top of me is not the most effective means of hiding.
Now I will simply take off. Don't fucking move.
Sorry, hold on. We've got 2 successes, 1 failure, and Chardonnay.
18 with hope. Does this count? Do I?
No,
is this a hope
reaction
count?
rolls don't add to hope or fear counters. So only Zarane is taking this damage.
What happened here is that I like take off. I'm like, right, I can go, I take off, and as I'm going up, I just catch it.
Right, job done. What? No. As you take...
Okay, now shall we continue the rest? What the fuck is that?
You take 17 magic damage.
Right, I'm going to roll my rune ward marker. I'm going to spend a hope to reduce that by a d8. It takes it 5, which brings it down to 12. I'm going to use another armor slot, which takes another 8 off that, which brings that to 4.
I'd like to
Means I
think you're
take
not
1
actually
damage.
wearing plate armor. You've just got an absolute beefy-ass exoskeleton.
I bring it down to a minor, so I take 1 point of damage.
Well done.
It just bounces out.
Yeah, you fly off in this moment, and you just suddenly feel like the sun get very close, and you instinctively just throw up this barrier, and then get bodied into a tent. The tent collapses, and you're just like wrapped up in this tent thing, but you are alive. And I technically get an action tracker for that, at which point she literally runs to the boats, tells them, "Turn around, the camp's lost!" and just shoves the boats back out, and they start rowing back out.
Did all three boats manage to get in?
Just the one that you didn't slow got in. So she literally gets that one, shoves that back out, and then basically the other two start turning around.
I was gonna say, pushing a boat off is not the quickest maneuver.
I want to be very clear. It doesn't fully beach. It gets into the shallows, so she can just get on it, and they're essentially turn around.
She's basically ran into the shallows to meet it.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I attempt to stop it from moving?
I think Daniel is.
As he's running in, can I pepper the boat? Like, I'll move forwards and then just pepper the boat to make them not able to row while Shellis runs in to stop the boat.
You try.
How many times do you want to roll?
Yeah.
Well,
just gotta stop.
You're rolling actions. Like.
Yeah.
Cool, fine. That is a 30-20 with the first one.
I'm not. All you're attempting to do is essentially slow them down. Are you trying to injure anyone? I'm just trying to figure out the impact this is having.
Kill Rose.
What I'm trying to do is I am trying to injure, but I'm trying to put as many rounds down range as possible. If that makes sense. So
every shot is an action, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Which means at any point that you fail, they will get away. Because it will then be their turn.
Okay. Here's a better question that I should have. How many people row the boat?
2.
Only 2?
2 oars.
Cool. I will attempt to kill one of them.
It's 2 people with 2 oars, as in there's 2 points on the boat.
Yeah.
These aren't the large ships. These are just like the boats you use to get.
That's why I was asking.
Like a rowboat, which is.
I thought it might be something out of Pirates of the Caribbean, where it's one person rows and you can add 3-4 people max.
Yeah, it's a bit more. There's a fair number of bodies actually on these rowboats coming in to try and kill you. Only they're now trying to retreat. Yeah, so you're going after one of them. Cool. Roll me the damage. That does hit.
Cool. 9 points of damage.
That guy goes down. Someone is scrambling to replace them.
I would like to attempt to stop them from moving by, jumping into the shallows and then sinking my axe on top, like with the beard on it, like gripping on, and then essentially holding it down with my weight and sort of. I would like to attempt to use one of my experiences as Sentinel of the Marang River Delta for a very specific reason that will become apparent after the roll, because I have a hefty suspicion as to who these people are. And eventually, if it succeeds, I'd like to stop them from moving and then immediately say, "Where were you on the night of the 25th of September 1462 when my camp was raided?"
When my cattle were rustled up.
When the Marang...
I reckon we got.
Where were you on the night of the 20th?
Make me a strength check.
Do I get
a judge?
2?
If you've got the hope to spend, I'll allow it in this instance.
I do.
I'll allow it. Sounds like I'm the ultimate arbiter. I think you've given a good enough justification.
I'll allow it.
I don't want it to sound like I'm in control of when you use your experiences.
So that is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
With
hope.
Yeah, you with your powerful muscles just like wade through the water, and while they're heading out, you just like get your long beard. You're at the full extension of it as you like hook it around the thing and just start dragging it in. All you've done at this point is halted the movement.
Captain America.
I pulled myself free of tent.
Yeah, your feet sinking into the silt.
I'd like to pull myself out of a tent.
So on this boat, basically at this point, the 2 boats that had been slowed down by Thalio, successfully stalling reinforcements to this fight, have about turned and are heading back to the ships. Right, they've abandoned the camp. They're not coming anywhere. On this boat, there are. One's just died, so there's 6 people on this boat currently. 7 with the captain gone.
And so there's no other boats coming this way?
Not anymore, no.
I've done my awesome group action, so I don't think I can do another one now, can I?
No, you can only do one per session.
Okay.
You can be part of more than one per session, but only
Initiate.
you can
Only instigate one.
per
Yeah.
session.
Okay, can I pull myself free of the tent?
Yeah, that was just flavour.
Sorry.
He's got a fashionable new dress on.
And what I would like to do is basically fly over the boat that Chalice is there. Like, where were you on the night of? I'd just like to cast a rain of blades down under me.
Wait, give oh no.
Okay. So how does Rain of Bleeds work?
I spend 2 hope, and I make a spellcast roll against all targets. All that I
Okay.
succeed against.
What I will say is
D8.
Rain of Blades is very close, which means you will have to roll to get within range first.
Okay,
So I just need you to make an agility roll.
that is a 16 with hope.
You do it. So an opportunist guy tries to throw a javelin at you. You come in and you nimbly dodge out the way.
And
And then
what
can
I
you
would
roll
then
against?
like, can I make a case for my experience? Ruthlessness is mercy.
Go
Because I'm
on.
real fucking grumpy.
Go on. So you're spending 3 hope to pull this off.
Grumpy boy.
3 hope to pull this off.
Yeah.
As I get up and just like spread my wings. Like, the sun isn't behind me, but for a moment it sort of blocks out the sun. As from my because my magic is primal,
Mm-hmm.
like from the shadows are just like claws and teeth and like pincers and stingers. Horrible thing. All the horrible things that people are afraid of. Yeah, that tracks. So that is a 17 plus 2, 19 with fear.
Roll me the damage. Half of the guys on this boat don't stand a chance. I'll tell you now.
That was a 1, so I'm going to spend a stress.
Okay.
For my primal origin to re-roll the damage dice. An 8, that's better. 8.
So a total of
8
I wasn't sure whether you added
points of
anything
magic
at all.
damage. Not for this spell. 8 points of magic damage to every one of them that is within very close range of me.
Okay.
They fail the 17.
Everyone failed. Everyone's below 17. The captain is severely wounded and barely hanging on. The last 2 people who seemed capable of rowing are in the same state. At this point, though, I have 3 actions on the tracker and a fear token, and I get to take over. So, what is going to happen is the captain is going to turn around and just try to hit you, Chalice, to try and make you lose your grapple on the boat. Natural 1.
Hey!
Hey, it missed it.
The heavily wounded.
Chances of them not hitting me are?
They were bringing down this strike as their weapon glowed kind of golden yellow from the sun gem in its bottom. And just at the moment they're about to strike, that's when the Rain of Blades jams into their sword and completely throws the strike off.
My dark shadow overtakes their sun.
Great!
One of the guys is going to get back on the rower, and they're going to combine try and row free of you. So I need you to make me just a reaction strength roll for me, please.
Real dichotomy. It is with hope. That's a 16.
That is enough. They start trying to row, and you just you just sink even further into the silt. It's now almost up to your knees, and you are just unmoving there. Just, come on, you.
I'm at home in the silt.
I think after trying a somewhat measly lightning bolt earlier, and then turning around and seeing this wave of shards from the crystal snake figure, Herbie thinks he's done a good job. So chasing after some now disappeared rest of the troop will run up to the we'll run up to the water's edge and try and cast another Unleash Chaos at the closest figures.
Yeah, go for it. Do you want to go for a row or the captain?
We'll go for the rows. They're trying to get away.
Herbie returns to where they're strongest, underwater.
Exactly. 15 with hope.
That hits. I don't need you to roll damage. You can if you want to see how much you would do.
It was 17.
Jesus Christ. This person is Daleked, essentially, as the lightning bolt hits him. You can see their skeleton. And their muscles completely spasm and they are launched 20 feet off the boat.
Hell is the damage on that?
2d10.
Jesus Christ. Okay. They have one rower and the spell captain at this point. Dahlia?
How close am I?
I mean, they're not that far out into the water.
So if I just did a normal move, actually, can I get as close as possible?
You want to get in melee?
Not quite. I want to get within very close.
Being in melee also
I think
being up to your waist or chest in water.
It's fine. I'm used to that. I'm a sailor.
What are you trying to do?
I'm going to ice breath the boat and freeze them in ice.
Okay. Let's go for that. I may make Chalice roll something.
I hope you're cold-blooded.
I'm going to add.
Depends what brings
Add me under the water, just to check.
I'm going to add my tide die for this because it's instinct, which isn't great for me.
Did Herbie go under the water, or was that just my imagination?
Yeah,
It's probably starting to swim now.
I'm going to get that tide point straight back because it is an 18 fear. Do you want me to roll damage?
Yes, please.
Cool. I'm going to add in a Slayer die earlier as well.
Slayer.
Because I mistakenly earlier thought using melee attacks is any attack.
Oh, sick!
or dice or damage roll.
Right.
So that is 6 on that. It's a 2 on the breath weapon, but
So does this breath weapon against a single target or a kind of group?
I can use it against a group or an individual.
Sweet.
However, because it's a 2, I get to re-roll it.
It doesn't overly matter, but go on.
But it's a 1. So it is 7 points old magical damage.
You tell me what happens.
I want to get it so that I mainly focus on the other. I freeze him solid and he starts off the boat and starts bobbing away like an ice cube / iceberg. The captain gets frozen in place on the boat.
Yeah, the captain who's just like reacting and trying to like bring up a backswing from onto Chalice to try and cut your axe in half is just frozen in place. Unfortunately, with that fear, Chalice, you do also take that damage. As the
damage?
7, wasn't it? Yeah. As the water around you, you know, like that triple point of water point where, like, if you move, it'll instantly freeze. Like, that's the water around you. It's kind of like that slush, and you're like, if I move, I'm stuck here for a bit. So you're just like, I'm gonna wait this out.
I did want
the Herbie ice cube just bobs up to the surface.
I'm gonna spend the one fear I do have, though, as suddenly that happens.
I thought that was what you just did to me.
No, because I had fear from Herbie as well. I had a fear on there. I got a fear from Bryn. So, but this fear, suddenly all of you hear boom, 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 as you see cannons on the boats, on the full ships that have shifted,
goddamn.
And they unleash a broadside arcing towards you. I need you all to make an agility reaction roll.
I feel like
Just hit me.
let them have the crystals. We tried.
Just shoot me directly. Stop making me roll saves.
Wait, did I need to roll as well, Gath? Sorry.
Yes, this is everyone makes an agility. That's anyone that's near the water an agility roll. Again, it's a reaction roll, so I just need the numbers. 13.
12.
Water. I'm still in where I was stabbing
you're fine.
You're fine, Chardonnay.
You're fine.
I'm going to add my tide.
Go for it. Herbie?
I got a
12.
12 and
I got a 14 with fear.
13.
13.
With hope.
You all successfully. The cannons are fire at you more in the kind of warning shot variety. so they're not directly aimed, and so they all land in the water.
Trying to hit 4 individual people with ship's guns.
Yeah. But it's very clear
Why
they've
not?
sent a message of don't come closer. But the boats that were halfway across
Let's go
have
closer.
retreated to the ships at this point. The ships are setting full sail. There is
Nice
still a
message,
fairly
Jack.
chunky camp behind you.
Yeah.
But at this point we are out of the action tracker. The water does warm relatively quickly here, Chalice, and you can move again. And we can...
You're right, it does.
just starts urinating.
It's a little funny colour now. He happens to
I
be
don't think I can
purple
make
for
it.
some weird reason, not like the usual colour that you'd expect.
Anyway, yeah,
We leave the
well,
camp.
stop
Yeah,
dragging the boat back to shore.
I'm going to go and start
The
having a
body
look through the
is-
tents, seeing if I can get any clues or anything.
Herbie, can I assume you are the result? that tent on fire is the result of you. Could you be a dear and go and put it out just quickly?
Have you got a bucket?
Can I just walk
Have a
over?
look around.
I'm going to walk over and use my ice breath, like a really wide spray setting, so that it doesn't freeze stuff, but it ends up like creating a cold fog.
Oh, excellent. Now you don't need to do that. Herbie, search these bodies for me.
Right away, sir.
Indicate the blood-filled boat. Go get Bessie.
I mean, the boat's mine.
Yes, but I want the stuff in the boat.
No, the stuff in the boat is mine. Obviously,
Killed
I get
them.
first pick. You kill some of them.
I'm just looking from one to the other.
I look around at the 12 bodies littering the shore here, and I think, you know what? Maybe I'll treat myself to a nice weapon from this captain here. I'm not sure where my
You've gone a
accent
bit
is
Cajun
taking me,
now.
but I'm apparently a lawyer from
John the
the
Liar.
bio now.
I think you'd fit in well in Knives Out.
It's the donut hole.
So what are people doing?
Looting people
Taco
and
has put out the burning tent with like a spray nozzle setting.
Like fog setting.
Yeah.
Twist his mouth.
Smoke machine.
Okay.
What I do is I actually take a swig from the canteen before I do it, so that it really puts out like ice crystals.
I was worried you meant a canteen with alcohol in it then.
Fire breather.
Yeah.
And a little fine mist.
And I think I think I'm now fighting Herbie over the bodies on the boat.
Good, yes, good boy, Herbie. Use the
I
teeth.
was sort of like put my hand on the shoulder. You know, you don't have to work for him, right?
Herbie, don't listen to him. That's an order.
He teaches me magic. I do things for him.
Does he? How much has he taught you? How much has he actually taught? Or does he keep saying, "Oh yeah, next week, Herbie, I'll teach you how to do such and such"?
I mean, he
I don't
taught
say-
me
I don't
and
know.
that.
Are you in an abusive
Exploded.
relationship?
What's one of them?
I'll tell you
my
about
boy.
it, Herbie. I'll tell you about it next week, Herbie.
Oh my dear boy.
Tell you what, Herbie. When we start the magic lessons, I'll tell you what an abusive relationship is as well.
Anyway,
Loot.
Roll me
Salute dance.
instinct, I guess. I might
Hey,
allow
okay.
knowledge.
quite good at it.
Knowledge would be to try and find hidden things. Instinct would kind of be just like perusing.
Yeah.
I will say it's best if you only have one person roll, otherwise that way you're less likely to end up with me with a ton of fear.
I got 16 with
I'll
them.
tell you what.
Said, we are
That
also
does make sense,
rolling
anyway.
it kind of against each other because, well, if Zarane finds things, we're not getting them.
That's entirely fair. If you all want to roll, Zarani, what'd you get?
Yeah.
16 with hope.
I also got a 16 with hope.
Could I spend a hope to help them instead?
Yeah. I'm assuming you're helping Zarane.
Yes.
Excellent.
Add a
Good
D6.
boy.
It's more that he's instructing me and I'm looking for.
Fuck. So presumably you are now
It's
fucking
down
half
to a
away
20
from the
with
boat
hope.
to go and help your master.
Chardonnay, what do you roll?
Master is such a reductionist term.
And so true.
I got an 18, and it was with fear, but I've marked 2 stress to make it hope.
I hate this game. No.
I forgot you've got that half of the demon.
I didn't even. Wait, is that a demon thing?
It's a demon thing,
It's a
yeah.
demon thing.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't know about that.
Q's like, I would have taken that.
However,
You don't need it.
I am extremely stressed.
Well,
I would
you
really
might be
like
able to
it.
take a short rest at the end.
I would love that. But yes, I did get 18 on finding things.
Cool.
Oh, no, sorry. I got 19.
Ew.
Chadney is just doing some retail therapy of just like robbing the graves while they're still not quite graves.
Cool. Tell you what
Does
are each of...
cold-blooded, sorry.
What-
Does cold-blooded apply to looting the corpses of my dead enemies?
Grave robbing. That should add... Oh, no, I don't want to take any more stress. No.
I mean, it's spending hope, not stress.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spend.
yeah, I do now. That is a 21 to find thing. And that was with...
Hope.
That was with instinct.
That was neutral.
Oh, with instinct. Cool. This is what I'm going to switch to. What are you trying to look for? It can be a fairly broad category, but like, is someone looking for, I don't know, weapons? Is someone looking to see if any crystals are around? Someone trying to find their directives? Like, what are individual people looking for?
I'm looking
three
for things to do with society. So it could be money, it could be documents, it could be like passports, it could be maps or like things that I don't know what they're called, but you know when you have a safe in a bank, and I assume you have a document to show that you have a safe in a bank.
Yeah, okay, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anything that would mean that I can pass through society with more ease. That also includes, I doubt any of them do, but if they had a fake nose on them, or like...
I mean, you
Fake
can make a
eyes.
fake nose.
Maybe one of them had a peg leg.
Yeah.
With that roll,
They didn't have any fake noses, but they didn't have real noses.
Mine now?
Chalice, what were you looking for?
Since I don't believe any armor that I would find on these beings would fit me, I think I'm looking for weapons and gold.
Darren?
I would like to see if there is like something with like a magical essence here, like something I can use to focus magic, either my own or maybe eventually Herbie's, definitely.
Also, before you say what we each find, I'd also like to add that because clothing and fashion also give an idea of rank, if there was any like, oh, this person doesn't have any money but they have a silk scarf, or like this person's a particularly fancy hat, I'll be taking a couple feathers out of that sort of
Are you
thing.
dressing above your station?
That's her whole thing. Underneath all of this,
Hermits.
it's like the literal definition of glamour. Because like underneath all of this, she is scarred and deformed.
I don't think you have the permits to be wearing something of that level in Demon Society.
After doing Zarane's bidding, Herbie will go back up to the camp and pick up some of the shards from the crystal snake person.
Chalice, we'll start with you in terms of weapons and gold, because it's fairly simple. A lot of the weaponry that the individuals had here isn't of is of serviceable quality, but nothing better than what you already have.
Yeah, I'm focusing on the snake and the captain.
Exactly what I was getting to. The captain, actually, we'll start with the snake. The snake has an improved greatsword. So that is a tier 1 physical weapon.
Yeah.
As I said, the design is like, it's quite broad and then it curves out to these 2 points before hitting a kind of flat top. Pretty...
A very strange design, and one that is probably not actually. Yeah,
We're in
that
fantasy
looks-
world, shut it up. But it's a d10 plus 6 physical
Yeah.
damage, 2-handed.
And
But you would be
-1
-1 to agility.
But you roll 1 extra damage die and drop the lowest.
Yes. So you roll 2d10 and choose the higher damage. And you also find the sword that the captain was using.
Oh yeah, and the gauntlet?
So the sword is a empowered longsword, which does 2d8 plus 2 damage.
Mm-hmm.
If you are capable of casting magic, it can deal magic damage instead. So you can channel your magic energy through it. The glove...
Balderdash to me.
I'm making this up as I go, people, surprisingly. Who knew? Is a repurposed arcane prism. What an arcane prism does is, once activated, any allies within close distance of this prism get +1 to their spell casting rolls. And then it can't be used again until their next long rest. This person used it to channel their own magic, but that exists.
Interest.
So that's what you find.
Any gold?
We'll circle back round to that.
Yeah,
because I'm aware that also Thalio is also looking, so just trying to spread the wealth out a bit here. Zarane, the main magical essence you were drawn to is the ability to unleash balls of sun, but Chalice kind of got there before you. So
higher than Chalice, damn it.
But what you instead get drawn to, we like seeing Chalice like looting the corpses of the strong fighters.
I stood right next to him.
I'm going to go looking for essentially solar crystals or other things of that like that have been left behind because I know they're inherently magical. You do find one chest with a solar crystal in it that is of the size that would have been used at the solar farm.
Big.
That is, you find it without anyone else seeing. To be clear, that one. So that's up to you. Again, they're about like football-sized kind of things, so they're fairly chunky. You also, can you roll me?
What's that under your cloak? Nothing.
What's that in your hands? Nothing.
Can you roll me 2d12?
That is 10.
10. You find in a similar place. You assume this was possibly where they stored quite a lot of the loot, and because you can see like a lot of it got like jostled about and stuff. On a desk in here, seemingly thought of as nothing but a throwaway thing, a small flat rod inscribed with runes. Instinctively, when you pick it up, you kind of you accidentally like press one of the runes, and then you go to turn, and you're like. You have a suspended rod. When activated, it is immediately suspended in place where it is. It cannot move, does not abide by the rules of gravity, and will remain in place until deactivated.
I'm gonna put that in Chalice's shell at some point.
Damn, my blind spot.
Chalice is like one of those bodybuilders that can't get the tape off their back. Thalio, as the tent that you're putting out puts down, you find what's left in there is a wooden chest. Two wooden chests. A fairly large one and a slightly smaller one.
Cool. I will go through both.
Can you roll me a d12, please?
11.
11. Inside, you find a small vial, which seems to... it's stoppered by a kind of black pearl, but then inside it seems to contain, like, the liquid is of a silver coloration that seems to give off a very faint light when, like, hidden in shadow. This is a vial of moon drip. When you consume this, you can see in total darkness until your next short rest.
Ooh.
The other thing you find as you open the large chest is a chest full of gold, which is quite a lot of gold.
Cool. I have marked it off that I have a chest.
Chardonnay. Actually, Bryn, with that, you will also see that there's paperwork in there that you assume is connected to where this gold is from or the contract that it's associated with.
Cool. I will get that as well and want to read it later.
Yeah. Chardonnay, you're looking around and you find a bunch of things to that effect, including paperwork detailing like goals or kind of summaries of lack of a term, missions. Essentially like a captain's log. The thing that really grabs your attention beyond the stuff that you yourself find useful in terms of a small signet ring with the symbol of the Tri-fangs, which is this mercenary gang, which is the fangs with a trident through it. You also find unmarked letterhead of Babylon Risen. So like official paperwork that's yet to be utilized. But you do find a map still in its scroll, in its map case that you unfurl, and you can see that it's a map of this peninsula that you're on currently, and a number of locations marked on it. Some with question marks, some with exclamation marks, some just kind of circled, and all of that information. Some like in the mountains, some the other side of the mountains, some in the desert, some on the coasts, kind of all over. Beyond those kind of clear, like, legend markings, essentially, there's not notes added to the map.
Ooh, do I know who? Have I forgotten who Babylon Risen is, or do I not know?
Everyone here would know who Babylon Risen is. Babylon Risen is the primary industrialist society. They are the last remaining floating city, and through which the entire industrialization complex moves throughout Kokuga.
Ah. And are there any famous family names amongst any of this that I didn't previously know?
Yes, give me them.
Ah.
The consequences, they're here again.
Welcome to Daggerheart, where we build the world together.
I was looking around my room like I don't think they should be called Curtain.
They can be. They can be the Curtain family.
Okay, yeah, the Curtains and the Petals.
I'm going to add some fancy ass grammar to that.
Add some apostrophes and some accents in.
The Sewing Machine.
What type of sewing machine?
You get the Curtains and the Petals.
Okay.
Curtains and the Petals, who are names who seem to be the benefactors through which this expedition was funded. Bryn, if you open up the stuff you've got with the gold, it basically is saying like courtesy of the Curtains and Petal family. It's not like those families directly hired these people. It's that they were the bankroll that then Babylon Risen hired these mercenaries.
I have an idea.
Yes.
This is entirely up to you. Is this the mercenaries who...
I think it bloody well might be.
I have an idea of what I want to do with all of this paperwork.
Stuff it in a pocket for now.
Yeah, stuff it in a pocket for now, but then I'm going to get up to things.
But the camp is successfully looted at this point. It's up to you whether you want to leave it standing or demolish the rest. It's up to you what you want to do.
Did they have
What
any
do you think
gold
we should do,
upon them?
Herbie?
Do they have any fishing equipment?
Yes. Short way up, a short little bit out of the camp, there are 3 fishing rods in the sand with long lines cast out into the bay.
Right, Herbie. This is a test. Now that we've driven them all from their homes, what should we do with what remains?
Take it.
Almost. And then I raise my staff at a nearby tent and cast a bolt of magic into it to destroy it. We burn away every mark of them that ever existed.
And my distraction nearly did that.
It did.
But Thalio put it out.
Well,
You gotta get the stuff out of the tent before you set them on fire.
Yes, you have to take away everything that they were, and then remove any trace that they ever existed.
When it comes to enemy
That's the best.
combatants, that's kind of okay. It's heading into getting real weird with it, as anything the Zarane does is. Just remember that not everyone is an enemy combatant.
Most people are. They just haven't
No, they're
shown it
not.
yet.
Most people aren't. and hold you no ill will in this world.
Herbie, you see this massive turtle person, this massive turtle man. Do you really think when my back is turned, he wouldn't try and eat your spine?
I'm
Eat my
a
spine.
area.
Look at how easy it would be. One crunch and boom, you're dead.
He does have a very big mouth.
Exactly.
I have a
Protect
beak,
you,
I'll
Herbie.
have you know.
This reminds me of Mother Knows Best from Tangled.
Mother knows best.
Saturday knows best.
You know, I've heard
Trust
things
me, my
about,
dear.
about his
That's how
people,
fast
but,
he'll
you know,
eat
Incredible.
where are we on the map again?
Southwest Peninsula, on its eastern coastline.
Okay. I'm trying to remember anything about the various leads we've been given, although I'm kind of along the lines of, follow them ships!
What, we're swimming?
I think we might take a rest first. They're quite large.
Yeah,
Some of them are
Well, you
quite
know.
worn out. I say,
I
looking at Chardonnay, who is incredibly stressed and sort of jittering, I imagine.
Yeah.
Trying
also,
on different
Saturday,
poses.
I know
No one
I
gives
know
me
you-
coffee.
I know your general propensity for bloodshed and murder is quite high, but do you think the goodwill we would receive from the townspeople by letting them know that they can have whatever we don't want is worth more than the simple gratification you receive from torching a couple of empty tents?
He says that as one tent starts burning.
Set that one.
So no, I think
There's four tents, you burn one.
I think my personal sense of satisfaction is definitely worth more than the petty townspeople's good wishes.
No, don't think about it like this. Think about it like you are receiving the, not only the gratitude but the loyalty of the people of that town. They will
there's a sound
view
I want
you
to-
as a savior and a messiah almost.
It's an interesting play, Chellis, but you are a little bit clumsy with this. But there's a particular sound that I think you need to listen out for, and it's this. And I cast another one into a tent.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Can I knock him out or something?
I blow an ice breath as it hits.
No fun.
You
if you
didn't
really
have
want
a hard childhood, I can tell.
I had a very hard childhood.
Oh, bullshit.
How many of your siblings wanted to eat you?
I mean, the moment from my birth, we had to scatter to the ocean, lest me and my hundreds of kin be eaten by, predators that are waiting for us. I know that
my
sea
predators
turtles
were
are
my
not
siblings.
alligator snapping turtles, but,
Yeah.
I had a very hard childhood. All I had was stability, two loving parents, occasional holidays in the Algarve, useless
And all
garbage like that,
and all the money you could wish for.
a mansion, staff, useless trash like that.
Anyway, yeah, let's let them know that they can have all this shit and they'll give us more than it's worth anyway.
I suppose that if they want to come and pick through some bloodstained tents, that's fine.
Exactly. And what these people view as just a simple, what we view as a simple rowing boat, these people will view as, oh my god, that's an entire 20% addition to our fishing fleet. Wow. Thank you, heroes.
Yeah.
Have all this stuff.
That does sound great. Herbie, were you fishing or something? You were collecting fishing rods.
The wood's useful. I
Tired
can
of using
do
its
things
head.
with it.
I'm just just gonna kneel down to Herbie and I want you to scuttle those boats, Herbie. I want you to make sure they
out
can
in the
never float
sea.
properly again.
I know you're lower down
Yes.
from my head, but you're still doing this right in front of me. The three of
I've
us are
walked
standing
away
in a
from you.
circle.
That's
I
a lot
walked
of
away
swimming.
from you, thank you. You're a good, strong goblin, aren't you?
But they're going further.
Take a nice... No, not the big ones.
But
Isn't
the little
rowing
ones
boat
went
on
with
the
them.
left? Not all of them did. There's one left.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, people, let's get a move on. to the next chapter of this adventure. For fuck's
You'll
sake.
catch up.
So, what I've taken is you are dragging a boat with you through a forest.
No,
I
no,
didn't know it was here.
Okay.
Actually,
Did you want to take a rest here?
I
Yeah.
was actually going to ask a question before we head on. I was going to ask, is it quicker for us to row the boat around
Ah,
to the bay than it is to go through the forest?
For
Up a
narrative
cliff, through a
reasons.
forest.
Meh.
That's what we'll do
I
to
mean,
get
it's
back.
about
We'll have a
nothing.
rest here and then
everyone get in the boat. We'll rest on the way.
Okay.
I mean, if
Yeah,
only
we can-
this
we
is
can,
it,
like-
that's
We'll
not it.
combine them.
Okay, so for a short rest, you can choose any two of the following. You can repeat if you want to do the same thing twice. You can clear 1d4 hit points by tending to wounds. You can also do this
it's
to
D4.
an ally. You can clear stress, 1d4 stress. Do whatever you do to reduce stress in that moment. You can try to repair your armor, again 1d4, which you can do to an ally's armor if you're so inclined. And you can also prepare and gain yourself a hope if you wish.
You say.
If two or more of you decide to prepare, you each gain 2 hope instead.
I'm going to go for stress and armor, I think.
I think I'm
I'll
going to do
get-
exactly the same. Is it a D4 armor as well?
Yes, D4s and all of the patch.
I will do armor and stress, and I'm not.
You did one of each, did you?
Yeah,
I'm ranged. Nobody comes.
Yeah, the stat blocks for the mercenaries, like their range is javelins, which doesn't really compete with a longbow.
Hi.
Yay! Are now not possible.
You did stress
I'm
twice, did you?
Slightly stressed. I'm slightly stressed and slightly injured, but my armor is my carapace is back to gleaming shape.
I'm actually
Immaculate carapace.
clear stress and armor, but I'm still too hurt. Too WO.
Too hurt.
Too hurt for me.
What does a minor health potion do?
On D4 plus.
You have a minor health potion?
Yeah.
We
I've got
all
mine.
got a type of
Yeah,
Get a
stamina
take that
potion.
or a like.
Minus stamina one.
stress.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah, 1d4 health, I presume. The stamina ones.
something like that. I've got
I
it
think
here.
it's 1d4 plus 1 because I
No, it's
just looked
clear
at it.
1d4 health hit points
Yeah, because the stamina ones clear 1d4 stress.
Yes.
because you only can have a maximum of 6. So even having the +1 means you clear 2/3. A third on average, and 2/3.
But you all spend your
Yeah.
time rowing around Chalice's strong arms and Thalio's comfort at sea, handling the 2 rowing stations on the boat as you go around.
I absolutely do not row.
The rest of you all lounging and relaxing in your
Stand
own
upon
ways.
the prow.
And you
I
eventually come.
purposely find some large waves that don't break over the entirety of the boat, but do
But do
soak.
give it a dramatic effect.
Yeah, do give a dramatic effect, but soak. I can't remember your character's name.
Zarane?
I will throw you overboard.
Larynx.
I will launch you overboard.
You arrive back in Amberia. Your captain looking at you bemused as you come into port just next to him. And he's just like, okay, I feel like there's a story behind this.
This
There
was
is.
apparently
There's also
quicker.
this, and I hold
No.
up the chest.
How strong are you?
Not in one hand. I was doing it with
Yes. He's like, oh. Well, maybe we don't need to find a job here then.
Exactly.
This is the
I told you, working is pointless, I say, flying out of the boat.
I
I mean, some would classify what we did as work, but just mercenary work.
No, it was more fun than work. It was light sport.
I mean, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life, as they say.
I mean, we were never in any real danger, now were we? Or were some of you in some sort of trouble?
You did get your armor kind of bent out of shape, didn't you?
Yes, but look at me now.
I'm
All
sorry.
sorted
I'm sorry.
again.
Last I heard, you'd gone chasing after a bunch of people who stole some crystals. And now you're talking about you were nearly in... What?
We found a crystal man.
We found the
Crystal
people
Man.
who were stealing the crystals.
Crystal Snake Man.
We killed them. We killed most of them. Quite a lot of them.
Good.
But unfortunately, none of the crystals were recoverable.
Roll for it.
He's trying to hide a football under his cloak.
Yeah, that's why he's rolling for it.
Under his chitin.
I am also extremely willing to just simply lie. That is a... This is deceiving, so that's presence. So that's a 14 with hope.
What's perceived is instinct, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
If we're all there, do we all get to see if he's lying?
Sorry. +1, that's a 17 with hope. It's like, he's just holding it under his arm, but he's got the cloak over it. It's like,
Your dwarf captain's just like, sure. Did you find a job for us to actually do?
Yes.
Was there something about a
did.
temple?
oh yeah.
Kirby, there was a temple or something.
Yes,
you were
there was a
taking
temple in
them.
America.
Yes. To America.
I have no
Bass
idea
Pro
what you're
Shop.
talking about.
For God's sake.
Look, the ship still needs repairing. We need a couple bit more damage dealt with, so we're going to be here until tomorrow. So I guess go relax and try not to start any new fights.
How about we relax by going and starting a fight?
I had the wrong crew.
I think you're
Doing it on
fine.
the ship.
He didn't hire you. He just like picked up, ran to us. Like some of you hired, some of you just turned up on his boat.
Anyway, can I put a hand on Zaranay's shoulder? Can I go? Zaranay, look, my friend. No. Look, my friend. And obviously, I know you've got one of the crystals because you're doing a shit job at hiding it. Should we inquire as to what the reward is for returning it? Because it'll probably be better than what you'll get for selling it somewhere else or using it for whatever you want. How are you going to use a solar crystal? Which
I feel there's certain magical things I can pull out of it.
I thought you were all about, darkness and shit.
Yes, if I can find a way to kill the light permanently, the world will be dark and it will be mine for the taking.
Look,
All I have to do is kill the sun.
I'm just not gonna let you do that. Sun's too important to literally everyone, including yourself. But also, yeah, let's find out what the reward is, shall we? Because you might be able to buy something better.
Is there
Look,
a would there be like a representative from Babylon risen?
Not out here.
How long would it take to fly a message there? Or how are the messages? I have a physical piece of paper with Babylon risen on it.
Mm-hmm.
How long would it take to get that to the city?
How fast does an albatross notice bird fly?
Yeah, basically. Although even then, Babylon Risen don't like using natural animals. They find them unruly and untrustworthy. And instead prefer to use human messenger systems to transport stuff. So essentially what you would have to look at is you could in theory get it to a place that kind of is the boundary between the peninsulan people and Babylon Risen, where it could then be transferred. It would probably take a short while. You're looking at a few weeks, maybe.
Oh.
Wouldn't be instantaneous. Not from somewhere like this. You could try and find a powerful mage who could send a message over a distance, but this place is fairly ho-hum down.
That's why you want it to be physical, so you can use the
Yeah.
the paper.
Would they have
They-
like a branch in a bank near here?
Which way is it? Is it east? It's
So
east of here.
Babylon Risen is the central island, for lack of a better term. So it would be kind of east north. If you travelled east directly from where you are across this one circular sea, you would end up in a town that is, well, not technically part of the Babylon Risen, like, is on that landmass and therefore has connections and all of that. So would probably have like an outpost or something like that.
That might suit All Island. How far away is that?
A few days sail.
Yeah, any of us have an idea of where we want to go next? I do.
You may as well do that job.
Yeah, what were the we got 2 different job opportunities. What the fuck were they?
You got one clear job opportunity, which was a wine delivery to Tongaria,
which is
the place that Chardonnay is thinking about.
Yeah.
For cohesive storytelling reasons. Freeing somewhat compared to my usual world-building methodology. And you also had the message you got off a notice board, which was about people had discovered a forgotten temple in the mountains near Iterica, which is the mountain range to the west and slightly north of you.
Except none of us got the word Iterica.
America.
Yes. YTERICA.
We have to find this mysterious America mountain range.
I mean, we could go that way, or we could have a long rest and sort of potter about in the town.
I mean, the boat's not going anywhere for a while anyway.
Yeah, and get a little. I mean, it's not going anywhere for a day, like until tomorrow. So,
or 2.
We'd have to go we'd have to go today for the rest, and I've used my unstoppable.
What's the matter? Not feeling so unstoppable anymore. Let's say stop poking him in the face.
I look at my HP quotient and like
looks at the red bar above his head.
You hear boss music. He's like, Cellist, they're not quite so unstoppable at the moment. Give him a few minutes. But yeah, like we could technically go on like a little journey somewhere else to go and have a look at an old temple, which might end up being a whole thing in itself. You know,
the temple isn't close. Like, as in, it's not a day. It's not within a day. You would be traveling a couple of days probably to Iterica, the town. Where there is more information as to where the temple is.
Yeah.
Well, we know that the ship's going to be up here in our time.
I mean, yeah. So it's going to be a day at most, and then it'll be ready.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can decide this away from the table as to what you want to do.
Yeah.
Zaranay, I just need a final decision from you. Are you keeping the solar crystal? It's entirely up to you, as much as Chalice has tried to convince you, or are you gonna hand it back for a reward?
No, it's mine.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure before I didn't close it off. That was all. So you head back into town. The crystal is stored on the flying bat, such that you're not lugging it around town in a secret compartment that you, Zaranay, have established in your quarters.
Mm-hmm.
It's in this suitcase.
Pocket
it's
dimension.
like when you put something big in like a cartoon, it's like put it in a suitcase, close it, and it's just like the big round like.
But no one goes in your room because they're terrified of you on the ship. So, and you head into town, and you essentially enjoy your evening. You get drunk. Oh, Chardonnay?
Whilst I'm in town, I would like to replenish my nomadic pack.
Yes.
So
You can wander around. You can head it. You can borrow some of the gold that you've either got or was provided by Thalio as a kind of group element to restock that from merchant shops. You can find random bits of rope and string left lying around. You kind of do the hodgepodge and collect all your various stuff.
It's a good point, actually. Did I find any gold while I was looting bodies?
You would have found a couple of handfuls.
Couple of handfuls, cool. The other question I give, the other thing I say to Zaranay is like, hey Zaranay, I found this arcane prism. This thing is guaranteed to give you a boost to your little magic show, whatever. I'll give it to you, for the crystal, which you don't know how it works or what you'll gain from it.
Herbie's going to jump in and shove up the part of the crystal Snake Man and say, I'll swap for this.
Very nice, but I'm pretty sure that's just a bit of quartz.
You said you wanted a crystal.
I said I want that crystal.
He's just jealous.
Last note, I wasn't keeping the crystal here where any of you little munchkins could find it.
I know, you stored it in your fucking room.
Yes, that's what you saw, because you are a little munchkin who would immediately follow me to try and steal my possessions.
You got
If you see over there, I'm going to like point like off the edge of the boat, like underneath the water, where there is an image of the crystal. You see there? You see, I decided to hang it off the side of the ship, off the other edge, so that you wouldn't be able to see the bastard because you're looking for it in my room. So, sure.
Alright, pull it up.
Herbie dives off.
Pulling it up.
For God, well, we gotta get him a life vest. Come on, like
He's going after the crystal. You want to swap? He's going that quickly.
into the ocean, and I don't think he can swim very well.
He can swim fine. He floats mostly.
For the sake of everything, it is clear that Zarane wants to hold on to the crystal, regardless of Chalice's attempts to get it back to the people who originally owned it. They still have a number, but essentially you have been unable to recover them, the ones that were stolen for them, as far as they know. Regardless, they are thankful for your effort, and essentially, with your retelling of events, believe that at least they shouldn't be coming back for the rest. And the town will attempt to resource some new ones at some point.
I also saw now you should probably also invest in some defenses around the only thing you've got here that's worth anything, which is the Southern Farm. Because I'm assuming they didn't come near you with their boats because you've got some kind of coastal defenses or whatever. But when you can literally just go to the other side of the island and then walk to it, then
yeah, but we've not had mercenaries attack us before. Beasts from the from the kind of tundra, the savannah, yeah, but we can generally turn them away. They're not coming for our stuff.
But you didn't even have a fence.
I would like to elbow Chalice out of the way and be like, right, what about money?
We'll be happy to buy you a few rounds and a free stay in the inns.
Lovely stuff.
You successfully get drunk on berry wine and enjoy the saloons in this town. I'm sure Chalice at one point tries to feed more bread to the notice birds as part of a drunken stagger home.
I've learned I do try to feed them an entire fish at one, in
Bones
one
and all.
go. But
We will leave the story there and pick up with the crew of the Flying Bat in whenever the next episode of Open Daggerheart Surgery is. And when you have decided where you're actually wanting to go. Whether you are wanting to chase down the mercenary ships, head over to Tongaria, or explore the mountain temple of near Eterica. But we'll find out next time, I suppose. As we zoom away from the town of Amberia, with you all staggering back to your rooms, slightly drunk, varying states of it depending on your nature, wondering whether Marble is ever going to come off the figurehead of the ship and join you. We zoom away and take in the overall landscape of the peninsulas and rings of Kogua, and we'll end our story there.
I draw a funny moustache on Marble.
I think Chardonnay probably tried to spend some time becoming a local celebrity when drunk.
And with that, until next time, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.